Everyone doing today? How are you all? Chosen ones, I'm loving my little locks. They trying to bud out. They forming on up. How is everyone doing this afternoon? How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? I feel good today. I be feeling good almost every day. I be feeling too good. You hear me? How is everyone doing? Come on and check in. Just got I got a quick message for you today. I'm gonna make it quick. I always say I'm gonna come quick, and I be here hours and hours and hours. I'm gonna do better. I'm going to do better with that. Hey, Dolores. How are you, dear? How is everyone doing this afternoon? I just got a quick message to get us to think about some things. Because sometimes this very thing hold us back, keep us stuck. I know it did for me for a long time. That's good that you're doing great, my dear. Happy to hear that. And I think I need to talk about it. And hopefully I talk it and make it make sense, you know? What I'm about to say. I need to clean out my car. This ain't how it's gonna be, Monique. You get this car cleaned out, girl. We don't operate like this. I didn't realize I had all this stuff in here. I had some clothes I was going to donate. Y'all come on in. Listen, I just want to ask you all, is what you believing holding you back? Your belief system, right? Some of us need to go in and develop a new belief system, because our old belief system is probably holding us back. Your old belief system is probably holding you back, right? And you cannot develop a new belief system until you heal. Hey, Jacqueline, you have to heal in order to develop a brand new belief system. Because if you don't heal, you're going to see and believe things from your broken lens, from your unhealed lens, from your traumatic childhood experience lens. You're going to see the world a certain way if you don't go and heal and reset your belief system. Because a lot of us are living on belief systems that are not working for us. And that's why you're frustrated. Some of you all are just spinning your wheels like a hamster on a hamster's wheel. Hey, Keisha. Some of you are spinning your wheels on the hamster's wheel, trying to make things work. Hold on. Turn off my little app, my little extra money app. Trying to make things work that are not working. And that's why you're frustrated. You got these belief systems that was formulated in our childhood that are not working for us. Whether it's superstition, whether it's, like I said, that family or blood is thicker than water. Little things that beliefs that we've formulated, right, in our minds to be like facts. And it's not factual. It's not working. It's not working. That's why some of you all can do the same exact thing and you get the same exact result because your belief system is the same. Your belief system didn't change. When you change your belief system, you'll get some different results. And you can't change your belief system until you heal. You go back and dig up and get to know yourself. Ask yourself some of those questions that I have in my free guide. You got to ask yourself, who are you? Who are you? Some of us never asked ourselves that question. Outside of being a mom and a wife, who are you? What do you like? What is your temperament? What makes you angry? What makes you happy? What makes you sad? Some of your belief systems is to please everyone else. As long as everyone around me is happy, I'm happy. And no, you're not. You're not happy. But that's what your belief system said. That broken belief system from your childhood, that's what that belief system told you. To please everyone around you, because that was what you had to do to get attention from those you love, who had their own situations going on. They couldn't give you the attention you need because they were going through their own things. Yes, 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 yes. 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 That's what it is. That's what it is. And once we change our belief systems and we find out who we are, we know what we like. We know what we don't like, because half of us didn't know what we like. That's why you never set boundaries. That's why people could do and say anything to you. Hey, Shaquille Alexander, where have you been, dear? I miss you. You missed the meet and greet. I know it was somebody that was missing. Oh, wow, Keisha. Really? That's how you know God is doing something in the atmosphere. And I haven't been listening to nobody today. So I couldn't get this message from anyone else. That's God. God got his chosen ones. We're all in sync. White, black, blue. We're all in sync. I'm just leaving work. And we're all in sync in the spirit. But your beliefs is, I wrote a definition down. Your beliefs is a set of principles, right? Or tenets which together form the basis of a religion, philosophy, or moral code. Your belief system just don't have to be about religion, because when people say belief system, people automatically think, oh, do this person believe in God or not? Or they automatically sometimes go to religion. And it's not just about religion. It's about those things what you know or you believe to be true in your heart. Because some of us are so messed up because we believe blood was thicker than water. Some of us are so messed up because we believe that our parents are supposed to love us, protect us, and guide us. And some of us are so messed up because some of you all experienced the very people that we were taught that were supposed to love and care for us. Some of you all have been abused mentally, emotionally, and sexually by your own parents. And no one will never know. But your belief system, you thought your parents supposed to be there for you and protect you. I've heard stories of countless women where their own fathers abuse them in a way that they will abuse a stranger or someone that wasn't blood to them. That's messed up. It's wrong. It's disgusting. It's not of God. But some people have to get over the belief system that they once had. Some people are toiling. How could my mama do this to me? How could my daddy do this to me? And it's painful. But the reason it's so painful because of that belief system you have. If you had another belief system, you wouldn't feel the pain of the actions of these people, right? Like your blood. Because see, if you understand what I'm saying, if your belief system was different, you would see things differently. But you only could see things based on your belief system. And I know your belief system could change because I changed mine. I changed mine. When I changed my belief system, the way I think, I may look cuckoo to some people. Because I changed my belief system. When I changed my belief system, I did become cuckoo to some people because they no longer could abuse me and use me in a way they once did. I no longer subjected myself around people who made my energy, who made my spirit, the spirit in me, when it talked to me and I get around certain people, it's an automatic no. Before, I used to ignore that. When I changed my belief system, I trust myself. I believe myself. I trust my spirit. Because it showed me that I can trust it. It proved to me that I can trust me. When I change my spirit, I don't have to know all the details. If my spirit say the person is foul, I'm going to pay attention to my spirit. I don't care if they're smiling in my face. I don't care if they're coming bearing gifts. If my spirit say alert, I'm going to listen to my spirit. Because your spirit man could see what the natural eye cannot. And we ignore it for so long. That's why we end up in these situations. We ignore all what we call the red flags. We ignore what our spirit is trying to say. We ignore the uneasiness and the tension. We ignore it. We just suppress it and keep moving. No, you're supposed to be paying attention to that. Sometimes you got to be bold and call that foolishness out. I don't know what you got going on. Sometimes you got to tell them spirits, I don't know what you got going on in you, but you need to get that right. You need to get it right. Don't come around me till you get yourself right, because something is going on in you. Something is going on. Sometimes now, you got to be wise. Sometimes. But sometimes you got to let them spirits know. Because they want to hide. And you got to call it out. You can't be letting this stuff hide in people. You got to call it out, shed light on it. But some of us, because, like I said, we got that belief system. We don't want people mad at us. We don't want people talking about us. We don't want people to reject us. I don't care now. Boy, I had a hard time with rejection. I know God delivered me. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I used to have a hard time with rejection. You hear me? Because of my belief system. Because of my broken mindset. My unhealed traumatic mindset. I used to hate rejection. I wanted everybody to accept me. I did everything. I did cartwheels, splits, the Dougie, the electric slide. I'm going to be honest. I did everything. Trying to be nice to people, bearing gifts, being kind, now I don't care. I want you to reject me because you know why? That let me know that your spirit and my spirit, we're not in sync. And I pay attention to my spirit now. I'm so content. Like my belief system before, it was jacked up. I'm going to tell you the truth. When I come on here, I'm transparent. I ain't got nothing to hide. My belief system was jacked up because I was unhealed. And when you're unhealed, you feel like you got to perform to be accepted. You don't have to perform, baby. You don't have to perform. It's either people going to love you or not. It's either they're going to love you or not. But when you're unhealed, you do that type of stuff. Yes, you do. Come on now. Tell the truth, shame the devil. We feel like we got to perform because our traumatic upbringing, some of your parents or grandparents, family, they did not affirm you unless you were performing at a high level, or unless you were getting good grades, unless you were doing something that they could brag and get some bragging rights about. You were not affirmed because of who you were. Well, I told my children, y'all got to live for y'all. My only thing is to tell the truth, but y'all gonna have to make decisions and do things for you all. So I won't be disappointed. Some of you all was raised by people, and most of all of it, if you look like me, we all had some traumatic parenting growing up, traumatic upbringing. So if you look like me, we went through some stuff, but we got to deal with it. We can't stay there. We got to break this generational pattern of dysfunction. We got to break it. And yes, it's uncomfortable. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's comfortable. I'm not like I had it all together, like I knew exactly what to do. No, I didn't know exactly what to do. God had to show me and guide me and lead me on how to communicate with my children, on what things to let go of, what things not to let go, what things to pray about, what things to, I had to be led. Still being led. I haven't arrived. I'm not there. Still got issues still that I'm dealing with and working through. But I'm far from where I used to be. Oh, God knows I am. I know God healed me. He did some spiritual surgery up on me. You hear me? Yes, he did. I know for a fact. Because some of the cycles I used to be spinning my wheels in, I jumped up off them cycles. Jumping off that moving car. Just imagine a car going 180 miles per hour. I jumped clean out of it. Look, I jumped clean out of that car. 180 miles per hour. Listen to me and what I'm saying spiritually. When you're going through these cycles, these crazy cycles, just going, the same thing over and over, year after year, year after year. I got tired of being on that doggone in that cycle. I jumped clean off. Yes, I did. Yeah, I got some skin. What it is? Some marks on me. Some spiritual road burns. Oh, I got some spiritual busted lips. I was in the spiritual ICU from jumping out of that car going 180 miles per hour. Spiritual ICU. But that's okay. That's okay. God came in and did the work on me. I'd rather be in a spiritual ICU than a natural ICU. Because if you don't deal with it spiritually, what you're going through, it's going to manifest naturally. It don't go the opposite way. Naturally you deal with it, and spiritually you get hit. No, you got to deal with what's going on with you spiritually. When you deal with what's going on with you spiritually, naturally, things will change. No, it's not going to change overnight. It's not going to change overnight. And it's work. When I tell you it is work, it's not easy. But what makes it easy, I can tell you what makes it easy. Although it's not easy, this is what can make it easier. Let me tell you. When you get away from everybody and everything that is draining you, that's pulling on your energy, pulling on your life source, pulling on you for things that you need to be reserving for yourself, pulling on you from energy, pulling on your energy that you need to be reserving for yourself. That is what is going to make it easier. Look, I'm slurring my words. Last night I went to sleep so late. I should have been trying to get some rest. I need me a little nap, but that's okay. From people who are draining your energy. When you get from around situations where, and see, we don't understand how important it is. I didn't understand how important it was until I finally got into my isolation. Until I finally was put in a place to where God had to supernaturally move me from around everything and everybody. It wasn't until I got in that place that I realized I would never have gotten to where I am today if I would have stayed in that place. Because, people can pull on you emotionally. They can pull on you spiritually just by being in their presence. Just by you being connected to someone. That person can be in another state. And if you're emotionally connected or spiritually connected, they can pull on your spirit. You have to release people spiritually. That's why most of you guys don't move across the state from some toxic people. You're trying to run. You don't move across the entire state running from people, and you still feel drained. You still feel drained. You still feel them pulling on your life source, although they are miles away. Although they're miles away, you got to spiritually disconnect from people. Because this thing is spiritual. That's why some of you all could still remember the words that people spoke over you. From how we used to say umpteen years ago. That means a long, long time ago. You can still remember the words because there was a curse that was put over you. That was words spoken over you. And you can still recall the words that were said. That's spiritual. You got to deal with that on a spiritual level. And it takes work. You deal with it. Someone is asking how you deal with it. You deal with it through repentance and prayer. Repentance from your sins and the sins of your ancestors. Because they didn't know. Just like you didn't know. If they didn't know and you didn't know, guess what? That's a repeated cycle of ignorance. I mean, you just don't know. And it's okay. There was a lot of stuff I didn't know. Yes. Yes, when you change your mindset, people are going to automatically fall off. Because when you change your mindset and your belief system, you're changing that thing from a spiritual level. So when you go in and uproot that old belief system, put some new soil down, those people are going to automatically fall off. You don't even have to make an announcement. Stop making your announcements. I'm changing, everybody. New year, new me. No, ain't no new year, new you. It's the same you. Because when you change your belief system, you're not going to say anything. People are going to see the change in you. They're going to see you moving different. They're going to see what once worked to keep you in bondage, to control you, don't work anymore. Now they got to get a new strategy. They have to get a new strategy because you don't change your belief system. You don't believe the same thing you once believed. I had a lot of belief systems that I had to unlearn. because life gonna show you that very belief system you have, life is going to show you either you gonna change that belief system or either you gonna let that belief system take you out of here. One or the two. Like my grandmother used to say, keep living. And as I keep living, I got to go and put in some new programming. Because if you don't change your program will change you. If you don't change your belief system will take you out of here. It will take you clean out of here. And that's what I want to come talk to you all about. Nothing long, nothing drawn out. But you have to ask yourself, is your belief system holding you back? Is your belief system stopping you from fulfilling and living out those desires? Some of you all, your belief system is so outdated. Some of you all are well past the age. And this is not to make you feel bad. This is not to, call you out, because I don't know too many people behind here personally, other than the chosen ones that I met. But some of you all are well past, and this is going to be for somebody, because I was getting ready to leave and I had to say this. This just dropped down. You're well past the age of fulfilling or manifesting those desires that God put in you. Your belief system got you stuck and afraid because you did not renew or change your belief system. Now you are operating in fear. Fear has a hold of you. God gave you books, gave y'all businesses. Some of you all could sew good, seamstress. Some of you all can cook good. Some of you got visions of opening your own restaurant, your own business, your own just creating, because chosen ones are creative. But your belief system has held you hostage for so many years, and you feel like it's too late for you. If you're on this message here, and that is you, it is not too late for you. I don't care how old you are. Don't even tell me your age. I don't care about that. This message don't care about your age. This message only cares about your belief and you changing your system, your belief system, so you can birth, so you can give life to what God put in you all those years ago. All those years ago, some of y'all got recipes that if you put that recipe down on paper, put it down on paper, and just go to mixing that thing together, you got something that'll sell in stores. You got something that can sell in stores. You don't let that recipe die in you. If y'all don't want to, if you don't want, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell y'all this right now, especially that recipe person. If you got a recipe and you think you too old, or you don't got too tired, whatever your excuse is, email me that recipe and watch what I do to it. At responsibility@gmail.com. Don't take that recipe to the grave. Don't take that recipe to the grave. Don't take them ideas to the grave. If you don't want to, manifest the idea, put it in the world for somebody else to go and take it and run with it. Like Dr. Miles Monroe said, and I heard him say this, I heard Les Brown say it. I don't know where they got it from. I don't know who said it first. I don't know. And it's true. And this scared me. Let me tell you, this scared me. When I heard it all them years ago, although I was fighting fear, I was changing my belief system. When I heard this all them years ago, this right here scared me. Both of them said the richest place in the world, the wealthiest place, the richest place in the world is the graveyard. And when I heard that, and I thought about all that stuff that God gave me since a little girl, all them ideas. I've always been creative. It's overwhelming, all of the creativity. You know, God give the chosen ones. Because most of the chosen ones are very creative, been that way. That's why I encourage you all to journal. Journal, write down your ideas, because sometimes you have an idea and you forget about it. This responsibility channel, you won't believe this was birthed in me back in 2019. Nope, I'm lying. 2014. When I first heard the word responsibility, 2014, I went back in my journal. I felt like God gave me this word responsibility. It didn't make sense. But when I went back in my journal, I saw responsibility. And I'm like, wow, I wrote this down in 2014. And then over time, he put in my spirit books, conferences, seminars, coaching programs, all wrapped around responsibility and all wrapped around the pain and the HE double hockey stick that I have endured in life. All of the lessons I learned. He said, your lessons are so wealthy that if you birth even half of what I gave you, you're going to be a lender. You're going to be a wealthy woman. And that scared me. So when they said the richest places in the graveyard, the richest place in the world is the graveyard, I thought about that thing. And I was like, I don't know when I'm going to check out of here. At least let me get something up. If I check out of here today, it's videos on YouTube, on these YouTube streets. There are videos on these YouTube streets that people could go back and learn from. Just like I learned from Dr. Miles Monroe. He was long gone from here, and I'm still learning from off his videos. So I said, let me get to work. I don't have time. And a lot of you all can't get to work. A lot of you all, this is why you can't get to work. Let me tell you something. You're afraid to be by yourself for a season. You're afraid to be in isolation. You're afraid to walk away and not go to the family picnics, the family gatherings, the family parties, the family this, the family that, the family reunions, the family. You're afraid to miss out when God is calling you to birth and build, and you talking about missing out. The world is missing out because you're not birthing what God put in you. You're not birthing what God put in you. And you worried about going to eat some high blood pressure barbecue ribs. You worried about eating some high cholesterol macaroni and cheese. And I love everything I just mentioned. But are you going to allow that to stop you from getting away for a season so you can birth and focus, and God can guide you and hold your hand to generate and produce and build what it is that he called you to build? But you don't want to miss out. You don't want nobody talking about you. You don't want people talking about you, saying you think you all that, you this, you don't do, you. When you going to get delivered from people? That's another one of my I had to renew and I had to get delivered from worrying about what people are saying. And see, that's why I thank God I went through that betrayal. I mention this all the time. God is so strategic. If we just look at the lessons from what we have gone through, if we look at the lessons from what we have gone through and sit down and reflect and let God show us the lesson in the pain that we've experienced, we can get to where we need to be. We can do what it is that he said to do. We can become who it is he said to become. But when I went through my betrayal in 2020, that took me to a place to where it delivered me, where I was no longer going to be concerned about what people thought about me, about what they said about me. We're so broken sometimes as chosen ones and chosen ones because we're unhealed, some of us. We're so broken, we can't even think about what I'm about to tell you right now. We're so broken, we allow what people are saying, we allow people talking about us stop us or make us feel some type of way. And what I've learned, God had to deliver me. He took me through this process. I'm gonna share this with y'all. My revelation. This is my revelation. Somebody else may get it. What he took me through is, because I used to be so worried about people and what they were saying and how they, if they were going to talk about me or not and the lies and stuff, right? God had to show me, you got to look at the people who are talking about you. Look at if they got any fruit. Look at the fruit. Look at he told me to judge the tree by the fruit it bears. So when I changed my perspective and I had to look at the people who were saying things, who was going around lying, who was trying to make me look bad, I had to look at their tree. And to see that tree ain't have no fruit on there. That little measly tree, the little tree they had no fruit on it. And I'm sitting here worried that they're lying, that they're saying. I had to change my perspective. I had to repent for that. I had to say, Lord, you know what? Forgive me. But when you're broken, you can't look at things from that perspective. You only just worried about people talking about you. They're lying on you. If a person don't have any leaves and they just got a tree bark, why are you going to worry about them and you got leaves on your tree? Green leaves, not brown leaves. You got some alive leaves on your tree. And you got some fruit hanging. They don't have nothing on their tree but a tree bark. And it's brown. They only have a tree bark. So, of course, the tree bark is going to look and pay attention to the one that has leaves and some fruit on there. Green leaves at that, not brown leaves. So when I was able to look at it from that perspective, you got to expect people to lie on you who don't have any fruit, who just got a tree bark. You got to expect that. You got to expect the jealousy and hate. That's part of it. The hardest thing and the hardest pill for me to swallow was to accept the fact that with this gift and with this anointing are going to come the haters. The haters, the unfruitful, the jealous, the big mad folks who are mad because you are bold enough to believe the God you say you serve. You are bold enough to speak the truth. You are bold enough to walk away. You are bold enough to stand up. You are bold enough to stand your ground. You are bold enough to set boundaries. You are bold enough to take a leap of faith. The faithless will always hate the fearless. You're gonna always be a target. And when I finally realized, this is what gave me the boldness to come on social media. When I finally realized, that's why I had to go through that 2020 foolery. When I finally realized God was orchestrating and playing chess with me while I'm trying to move the little checkerboard, I was able to understand this thing is bigger than me. So of course I'm going to be attacked. Of course I'm going to be lied on. Of course I'm going to be talked about. Of course I'm going to be hated. That's part of the territory. That's part of it. And if you don't want that, don't come in the kitchen. Well, what they say, if you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Stay out of this kitchen. If you can't stand folks talking about you, doing commentary on you, lying on you, talking about you in the group chats, talking about you at the family reunions, talking about you at the events, if you can't stand that, don't bring your butt in this kitchen. Don't fulfill and do no work. My baby going to the gym. Don't do any work. Don't start doing that work. Because you're going to have to be strong spiritually. You're going to have to know who you are. And it all goes back to the belief system. It all goes back to that. You have to know who you are. Because if you know who you are, the lies won't faze you. Them talking about you won't faze you, because you'll look at it as, oh yeah, you got to talk about me. You ain't got no fruit. The fruitless gonna have to talk about the fruitful. The fruitless people will always talk about the fruitful. And when you start looking at things like this, guess what? What they say, like they say, the water roll off you like water on a duck's back, and you will keep trucking. And you will be unfazed. You will be unfazed, and people wonder why they can't get under your skin anymore. Tell them you got some new skin. Not no snake skin. We ain't talking about snake skin. We talking about new skin, which is representation of a new belief system. I am doing the work. Tell them you're doing the work. You're healing your childhood traumas. You're facing and confronting issues. Your childhood. Yes, unbothered, Jacqueline. And they get mad too, because demons love to provoke you. But when you're healing and you get a new belief system, and they're not around you to study you, they got to figure out another way to get you. This when they'll go messing with your children. This when they'll go lying on you, on calling your job and doing all this foolishness. That's when you get all that type of behavior. Because they don't know what else to do. Because you're unbothered. You know who you are. You are healed. You know thyself. You know thyself. Regardless of your past, what you done been through. Regardless of the pain, your past. Once you know, they should have left you sleep, chosen one. Because once you know who you are, you'll look at some people and laugh. look at them and feel sorry for them. This when you know you are healed. You know you've done the work. When you look at a person and feel sorry for them, to know you got to be a miserable soul to keep trying to bring somebody else down. In order to try to bring somebody else down, you got to already be above them. Not that you're better than them, but for a person to try to bring you down on their level, you're above them. And you're not saying in a prideful way. You're just above them. Yes, workers of iniquity, Keisha. They never rest. That's why they're so miserable. They never rest. Always looking for the next thing to conspire up against, to come against the fruitful. But I know in this season, and I mentioned this before, I mentioned this 2, 3, 4 videos, and it keeps coming in my spirit. This is not the time to be coming against the chosen one. This is not the time. And I keep saying this, and I'm not saying this to curse people or no. This is not what you want to do in this season. Yes. Abundance over here, Michael. Yes. Made it rain. Yes, you do, Jacqueline. Look at him and smile. Like, and in your head, like you got to be a miserable, so I feel sorry for you. You be like, Lord, bless them in your head. Bless them, Lord. Give them some level of peace. You be in, and this is when you know you're healed. When you pray for these miserable souls, you ask God to give them the peace that you have. You ask God to give them, Lord, give them some of the peace, a little bit of the peace I have. Because as a parent, they're not peaceful in their soul. And that's a sad place to be. With so much going on in this world, people are not at peace in their soul, in their spirit. Because they're not doing the work. They're not looking in the mirror. Some people are so prideful, they don't even want to say the word repent. That's how much pride they have in them. And you know, God don't like the pride. Don't like pride. He don't like the prideful. Which means your heart is prideful. Don't take this as I'm saying something else. Your heart is prideful and unrepentant. You don't know how to go tell people I'm sorry. You don't know how to ask for forgiveness. That's what I mean. Your heart. You don't know how to say, forgive me. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that like that to you. To the people you know now. To the people around you. Very, it is. But that's what I want to talk to you all about. That's what I want to come talk about right there. That belief system. No, Tracy, don't over apologize either, because sometimes when you over apologize, that's something, and I used to be that way. Never apologize for something you did not do. For some, it's because of women, we do that a lot. It's very hard. It takes work. You acknowledged it, so now it takes work. Women, we do that a lot. Oh yes, we do that a lot. And do not over, yes, there you got to find balance. A lot of stuff we do, how I used to over apologize too. Yes, we just apologize for no reason. It could be simple things. And I watch other women do it too. And if I'm close to them or if I feel their spirit and I can feel that they won't be offended, tell them, I'll let them know, you don't have to apologize. Stop apologizing. We're programmed. One lady, she dropped something on the floor. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, what are you apologizing for? It didn't splash on anyone. You just dropped a pencil. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, you just dropped the pencil? It's not like you were walking in the door and you didn't look behind you and someone was behind you and you let the door close on them, but you didn't know it. I'll see, you can apologize for that. Exactly, Greta. I stopped that. And it feels so good when you recognize and pay attention to your behaviors, because that's something we don't do. That's why I say journaling is freeing. Y'all get into journaling. Get into journaling. I created some personal journals on Amazon, but I ordered them for myself. I don't even advertise the journals no more. I be ordering them all for myself. And it's just plain journals where I just go and journal my thoughts, my ideas, my dreams. I journal. It's so freeing. I got so many. I didn't realize I had so many journals. I'm thinking it's an obsession at this point. I don't know, but I got a lot of journals, a lot of ideas, and when I go in my journals, that book that I wrote, the 5 effective ways to the 5 effective ways to rise above petty office politics. Guess when I created that title? Back in 2015. And I just wrote that book today. This year, I just finished that book. Just finished it. It was an idea from years ago. So just imagine if I wouldn't have wrote it down, because life be lifing. Life be lifing. We're losing loved ones. We're losing spouses, children, friends, moms, dads. Life is going, and life sometimes distracts us. And we're not going to have time in those seasons of grieving. We may not have time to write as much as we do. That's what somebody told me I was, Anais Faith Jones. I kind of believe it, because I've always loved to write from a child. I always had diaries, and I used to love writing. Oh, yes, it is, Greta. I posted that the other day. Hey, Kiosha, how are you doing, dear? Get back to journaling. It helps. Even if you don't journal, spend time alone. Spend time by yourself and reflect on your day. Reflect on your reactions. Reflect on your relationships. Reflect on your upbringing. Reflect on this stuff. It'll help you. I hope we see some of that stuff, Anais. Poetry. Do you have a book? Put that stuff in the book. There's no excuse now. Don't take that stuff with you. Don't take none of that stuff to the grave. You don't need a publisher in this time and age. There is no excuse for you not to write your book. You don't need a publisher. You can be your own publisher. There is no excuse. You don't need a editor. There's so many resources out there that was not available to us years ago. We could self-publish books now. I self-published my own ebook. The one I self-published that book. Me and me alone. And these internet streets, computer, technology. Yes, don't check out with that stuff. We need to know. We need to see. And have you ever noticed? This is why I talk about abundance, right? I talk about abundance because God is abundant. Some people shy away from it because they think you're talking about prosperity and you're always talking about money. No. God is abundant in ideas, in the wealth and creativity that he put in us. Have you ever noticed? I don't care. We can have all of us on this, all 22 of us on here, on this live, could be writers, right? We can all be authors and writers, right? For an example. But God is so creative that he know all of our brains are wired different. We can all have the same title for a book. We can have the same title for a book. And in those pages would be a different story. This is how creative God is. This is how abundant he is. We can all be given the same ingredients to make a special type of peach cobbler pie. We can be given the same ingredients. We can be given the steps, do this, that, and the other. And all of those peach cobblers, those peach cobbler pies are going to taste totally different. This is how abundant and creative God is. That's why I'm not afraid of nobody stealing my ideas. I'm not afraid of nobody stealing my titles. Because they may could steal the title or the idea, but you're still not me. You still don't have my experience. You still don't have the pain that I went through. You don't have my upbringing. So you're not going to know what to do with it. You can pretend. Because God is abundant. And it's true. You don't need money. You need a good idea. And the good idea will bring in the money that you're asking for. That recipe that you're afraid to put together, you should be freezing them pies. Somebody got a pie business on here. A good pie recipe. Tell me later. It was you. Email me. Put it in the chat. You should be selling those pies. Freezing and selling these pies, shipping those pies out. Ain't no patty pies. We ain't talking about patty pies. We talking about yours. That pie you cook for every Thanksgiving, Christmas, holidays, whatever. Yours. Look at that lady who was about to get kicked out of her home. Apple mortgage. She was about to get kicked out of her home, foreclosed, and start selling those apple pies. And produced a multi-million-dollar business selling apple pies. Apple mortgage. Look up that story. They made it. She even got a movie. A movie was made to tell her story. Now she don't got paid because she took an idea, her grandmother's recipe, Out of desperation and her not wanting to lose her home, she took a bet on herself and started baking them apple pies. I regret, but I didn't know what I know now. I regret not learning how to cook my grandmother's peach cobbler. She used to have a good peach cobbler. The crust, everything from scratch. She had a good pie recipe. If I would have known what I know now, although she taught me how to cook, I would have been more tentative in that kitchen. That lady took a chance on her. She took a bet on herself. She stepped out on faith. Yes, Michael. And we can't see. Let me tell y'all something too. Y'all got to stop being fearful. Fear is not of God. Stop being fearful. Stop worrying about it being perfect. I used to be like that because I wasn't healed. When you're always living in this state of perfection, you be afraid to take a leap of faith. You be afraid to create anything because you don't want people criticizing it. You don't want it to be critiqued. I'm in a place right now, I don't care if I make a mistake. When I published my book the other day, somebody may find a mistake somewhere, error. I'm not worried about that because I know it can be corrected. If someone bring it to my attention, it could be corrected. But I refused to let that book sit up in me. I refused to go one more year talking about, oh, I'm going to write this book. Oh, that ebook is out there now. It's out there now. I don't care. I refuse all of the books and ideas I got in my journals. It's like I got an urgency to get them books out there. I'm not going to die with this stuff in me. Hi, Monique. I am not going to check out of here, hopefully, in the name of Jesus, with all that stuff in me that nobody would never get to see if I don't get it out of me. The books. I got another book that I'm working on. It's called How to Play. It's what did I wrote? I'm going to produce it just how I wrote it down. How to play the cards you were dealt in life. And there are other titles. There are other books with a similar title to that. But you think that's going to stop me? Because those books don't have my experience. That idea wasn't given to me to go Google and research and see that other people have similar topics, and then for me to say, no, I don't want to do it because other people wrote a top. No, that's not why that was given to me. That was given to me for me to write. Hey, Nancy. That was given to me to write, and I'm going to write it. I have a design for a book cover and everything. I may go on Fiverr and let someone design it because the design of the book was given to me and I wrote it down. It should be this way, this way, this way, and this way. So just how I wrote it on my journal, that's just how I'm going to have that book cover design. I'm not worried about what people say. You got to write a good this and make sure it's eye-catching and make sure it's this, all the extra stuff that'll stop you and paralyze you from even doing what it is that you're desiring to do. I'm not operating in fear anymore. I'm operating in action because there's too many resources to help me facilitate the process that had me paralyzed before. Technology is too great. Technology is too advanced right now for me to be fearful. What I'm fearful of is me leaving this earth with that stuff in me. That's what I'm fearful of. I'm not worried about a mistake. I'm not worried about a comma being missed and a period. I'm not worried about that. That type of stuff paralyzes us from even making a move. I'm beyond that state. My state of mind is I got to get it out. Just in case my time runs out. Like Anaya say, I'm going to die on E. Every conference, every book, everything, every lesson. I'm going to be checking out like this. I think I want my teeth to show when I check out from here. Because see, they be having people mouth closed. I don't know if we can change that. I want my teeth to show. I want them to be nice and clean. I want to be happy. You hear me? That's why some people scared to die. Some people are afraid to leave this world because they know they have not done what it is that God told them to do. That's why they don't want to check out of here. People who are doing what it is that they're supposed to do on earth, they ain't worried about dying. They're not afraid of dying. They're preparing because they know they're going to leave, but they're not afraid because they know they are doing. They are producing. They feel that they're doing what God is calling them to do, so they're not afraid. And they often talk about death and mention death. Because they know that they've made their impact. They're making their impact. They know that. So I didn't mean to get on all that, but I start one thing and go on to another. So I got to let you all go. Let me go prepare. I'm just leaving work, get myself together. But that's what I wanted to come share with y'all. I hope this message inspired you. I hope this message inspired you. And Ananias, use YouTube University. YouTube University has helped me. But sometimes, although information is plentiful and abundant, some people still need someone to hold their hand. That's what I did when I first wrote my first book. When I published my first book back in 2018, I still hired me a book coach. I hired a book coach because there were still things I didn't know. And she kind of like helped me. And I know she was God sent. She helped me, but now she charged a lot of money. I caught her when she was first. See, that's another thing. You have to follow your heart. When I published my first book, I caught the publisher when she first started out. So she was not charging a whole lot of money at that time. Now she's up there because I referred a few people to her. Oh, she is way up there in the thousands, past 7, 8, 9,000 to publish a book. And you don't need to pay all that money right now. She's good at what she does, but technology, it has advanced. It has advanced. You only need information. You only need information. Technology has advanced so much, it's scary. I'm going to tell you, it's scary. You hear me? Yes, you can do that, Ananias. Do that. Don't hold your listen. Don't keep your goodness inside of you. There are plenty of people on YouTube that will walk you through how to self-publish on Amazon. The main thing about people, because I was like that, I was fearful. Once I got out of fear, I published quite a few journals on YouTube. On Amazon. I just published a PDF that I've created using Google Docs, Canva. Make Canva your best friend. Canva, learn it. I didn't know Canva. A lot of these systems, I'm not a tech person or a computer genius, but I am creative. And when I want to know something, I'll go learn it. I go on YouTube. I learned how to use Canva from YouTube. I learned how to use a lot of the things I know how to use from YouTube. Gumroad, YouTube. And I bought a course from someone. I think it's I bought a course from Ellie Talks Money. I don't know if you ever heard of her. It's the young mom that it's the young mom. I found her. She's a life coach. Was a life coach when she started out. Still is. But a young mom that turned what she knew into a business. Went from being on food stamps to making 6 figures in 1 year because she took a chance on herself with 4 children and a divorcee. When you're back up against the wall, oh, you gonna jump. You hear me? You are, and sometimes, unfortunately, that's where God has to put us. Our backs have to be against the wall in order to jump into our creativity. I love Canva. And a few more Canva, Upsplash. It's a few more tools I used to create. I made my digital, I made me a digital vision board, right? A digital vision board on using Google Images and PowerPoint. I have my vision board right in my room. A digital vision board. I made that in 2000 and I was still on my job, so it was 2000 and I got the date on there. I want to say 18, 19. I want to say I made it. And don't you know, everything just about on my digital vision board is accomplished, just about. I'm doing those things. I'm working towards those things on my digital vision board. Being debt-free is one of them. I've always wanted to be debt-free. That's why I provided that 10 daily business affirmation sheet. And on there, it mentions, I am so happy and glad that my business is debt-free. I speak that over my business. I want a debt-free business. I want to be debt-free in all things. I don't want to owe no man nothing. Owe no man anything, nothing but love. That's where I want to be. I'm not on this mindset where people are like, you're going to always be in debt. No, I'm not talking about you paying your daily bills, your monthly bills to keep your water, lights, and all that on. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the extra debt, credit cards, student loans, car payments, and all that stuff, mortgages. But that's what I want to talk to you about. I said that like 3 times ago. Y'all look, my little locks are trying to bud out. The locks are growing on me. They are growing on me. Had to get used to them, but I'm happy I did. I love my locks. I love my locks. Love being natural and free. I love that. But you all be blessed, okay? I pray that this message inspired you. I had to come get that out. Right? I had to get that out. So y'all be blessed. Yes, do it, Ananias. Just do it. Don't think about it. Do it. And it will get easier. Once you start, it will get easier. Okay? Be blessed.